What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well today, and welcome to what is, and what probably always will be, the best mashup between motocross video games ever. This is Fort Red. This is created by RedRider in MX Bikes, and this is an exact replica of Fort Dodge Round 2 from MX vs ATV Reflex. If you are slightly on the older side, like myself, and you had the luxury of playing Reflex in its heyday, you probably love this track. There were so many huge lines. It was just really good, really unique, jumping up into the like stands and jumping back out again, kind of like an LA Coliseum type vibe. Before we get into the actual riding of this, I want to fly around the stadium a little bit. Everything you see here is fully custom. RedRider has done all of this from scratch by himself. I'm not sure on the exact release time, but I know it's today. Whenever you're seeing this, you're actually going to get a double upload today, I believe. One earlier in the morning and then obviously this one now. But I just want to kind of fly you around real quick and show you what exactly is going on here. So this has been in progress for a couple months now at this point. If we zoom in here, we get this amazing iconic sound, which is the Reflex introduction screen / music. Hella nostalgic there. We've got like custom posters and stickers from the Earthworks crew, a bunch of like t-shirts hanging up here, and just the level of detail is incredible. If we fly up through here as well, it's like these are all different concession stands, kind of all of his friends, I guess, like virtual companies mixed in here with like Jesse Mullock's Tacos and Immaculate Energy, etc. Really, really cool stuff, as well as obviously the track going up here and dropping back down. And this is going to be my first time playing the track, but I was having a little fly around here before I pressed the record button, and I think this is meant to be like possibly the coolest entrance to a track there will ever be. I believe you're able to ride and drop down from the top of the stadium and then I guess hit this jump and maybe downside the finish line here. So we're definitely going to try and do that as we get going. But I feel like I could spend hours flying around and showing you all the ins and outs. We've obviously got the private VIP booths, custom animated screens as well. And again, just shout outs to all of RedRider's closer buddies, although I don't see a Lin's logo in there. please update. And yeah, let's just get into it. This is very, very exciting stuff. If you've been putting off buying that new MX gear, or you're just looking for some new daily MX related clothing, then head on over to fxrracing.com. Code MXPR_Lins15 at checkout will give you 15% off all motocross and lifestyle products. This code is applicable to the European, Swedish and Norwegian websites, not Canada or the USA. And whilst I've got your attention, you may as well subscribe to the channel. It's just one click of a button and it puts a big old smile on my face. Hope you enjoy the rest of the video. So my weapon of choice today is going to be my trusty steed of the factory Honda 450. The reason I'm choosing this is I feel like I don't know if all of the lines are possible from Reflex, but there were some absolutely huge quads or even fives available on that game, and I'm really interested or curious to see if those lines are also doable on these bikes. And the factory bikes are very, very forgiving in that sense when it comes to over jumps. One other thing that I saw just quickly, I see if I can actually ride up this I guess escalator here, which you can. Lovely. My plan is all coming together very, very nicely. Again, all this custom built, by the way, by RedRider, is oh god, where is it? That's really embarrassing. So kind of these posters that you see dotted around here on the sides, I saw one earlier for a track that Dylan Frisch is currently making, so it's almost like advertisements for upcoming tracks in the game, which is really, really cool too. So if I set a track mark here and I step off the stadium, I'm dead. Oh wow, the marker actually gets you up there no problem. That's really, really cool. Right, fourth time's the charm, and roll off, and yah yeet. Fifth time's the charm, roll off, and yah yeet. Sixth time's the charm, roll off, less throttle this time, and yah yeet. Seventh time the charm, back up a little bit, get a rolling start, and yah yeet. Okay, yeah, only took me 7 attempts. And then what, do we send this bad boy onto the land of the finish? You can do, but I'm a massive L gamer, so we're just going to turn it into a little 540 no scope, and we're going to go on about our day. So I'm going to set a marker here now. But this is the start usually, and there was a huge line at the start on Reflex where you could like quad or five in, and then you could basically do this whole rim section in 2 jumps, which does actually look doable there. This is a Supercross triple, like a normal triple. However, you could turn this into a massive quad. So instead of downsiding here like you're meant to, you could really send it and downside it here. However, looking at how steep that landing is, I don't feel like it's going to be too feasible in this game. But we'll ride around. I'm not just going to stop and talk about like every single little section and compare it to Reflex, because unfortunately it makes me feel very, very old. But a lot of the people watching this will have no idea what I'm talking about. However, I want to see how many Reflex enjoyers we do have in these video comments. So if you loved a bit of Fort Dodge Round 2 from back in the day, then slap a cheeky Reflex for the win in the comments. I'd really like to see it. I remember, like I said, I'm not going to kind of keep talking about the Reflex, but I'm getting such nostalgia trips. That jump that I just hit there, I remember watching the trailer, like preview footage of Reflex before it even came out, and whoever it was that was recording the gameplay, massive props, because he hit the filthiest whip up that step up. And that was kind of one of the main things that really made me want to get the game overall, is just the whip physics. And it's really sad to see that over time I feel like motocross games have gone, at least the arcadey motocross games, have gone downhill in comparison to that. Like Reflex whip physics were some of the best ones that we ever had, and I think we ever will get. I mean, obviously that was the introduction of the two-stick system as well, where you had your rider weight on one stick and rider leaning on the other. And from that day, when that game released, I never went back. I've played two-stick in every single game like possible since then. I remember like buying and playing MX Simulator for the first time and just instinctively going to two-stick in my settings, and then actually being like really confused how people could play the game with everything on one, and it just didn't make sense to me. And then obviously I had to realise that not everybody played the same games that I did, not everybody was a console gamer as such. I don't think games like Alive ever came out on PC. I believe it was Reflex, and then I think All Out might have been the next one after that that made its way onto PC. But yeah, really, really good memories. Obviously my try-hard days of competing on Reflex, I think Reflex is kind of where it stemmed from. There was a website called MX Online Tournaments, which I believe I've spoken about in videos before, but I'm aware not everybody watches every single video on mine. Yeah, MX Online Tournaments back in the day was so much fun. I remember playing that on my PS3, and how it would work is, say 100 people sign up for a race, you'd get individual people that were assigned like lobby hosts, and they'd had to add everyone as friends, invite them into the lobbies, and then quickly at the end of a race take a screenshot of the results and like, enter them manually online. And it was definitely, I wouldn't say a simpler time, because I hosted a couple of races and it was actually quite stressful to make sure you had the pictures and make sure the lobbies were running smoothly and you uploaded them all correctly. So it was a little bit stressful in that regards, but I guess a much simpler time in terms of just enjoying the games for what they were. And for Mr. Alex33KTM, that was his PlayStation username back in the day. Thank you so much for introducing me to all that good stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed it all. I was very, very try-hard back in the day. I had many, many PlayStation names. I don't think I ever kept a PlayStation account for probably longer than a year. I was always switching and making new accounts over and over again, to the point where in my MX vs ATV Alive days, my actual like PlayStation username was MX_versus_ATV_Alive. How tryhard is that? Literally naming your account after a game. It's actually crazy. But I loved it. You know, it was my favourite thing to do. I really, really enjoyed it. And I know between Reflex and, or the back end of Reflex and majority of Alive, I had something like a 200 win streak. I was so like, I was just so tryhard, man, all the time. I remember even leaving, like if I was out and about with family or whatever, even leaving events early to quickly rush home and do the races, and I'd do a race almost every single night, and there wasn't even prize money stuff for it back then. It was purely just about out of enjoyment for the game. And I do miss those days. That's one of the things that kind of sucks about getting older, and games, I feel like games kind of getting worse as the years have gone on. But I really, really do miss it. Maybe one day I'll see if there's any way that we can get some populated Reflex lobbies going. Like maybe in a live stream. I mean, we do enough MX Bikes public lobbies. What's stopping us from doing some Reflex lobbies at some point? I'm sure there's a whole bunch of you that have this game installed on your PC still. Or maybe I just bite the bullet and try and I guess discover wherever my PlayStations are. PlayStation 3, I don't think Reflex was ever on PS4. I don't think it's backwards compatible like some of the Xbox stuff is. And it'll be Oh my god, I can't get going in a straight line on some of these jumps. They're very, very peaky jumps, that's for sure. But yeah, travel back in time, have a little bit of fun. And Alive is also a game that I really, really want to go back and play again. But there's no good emulations of it. They're all like really, really bad. They stutter loads, have lighting problems. So it's definitely a shame. I'd love to bang out some Alive at some point too. They would all come with digging out the old PlayStations and trying to get the recording software for that. And yeah, it's more of a pain than it's worth. Maybe just as a bit of fun for me rather than for videos, but I really, really do miss it. So at the end of all that, me sitting here talking about random stuff for the last like 7 minutes, thank you, Mr. RedRider, for blessing me and kind of scratching that nostalgia part of me that really loves playing these games. And I mean, so far the track it flows pretty damn nicely. I feel like I'm over jumping a good amount of jumps, but they're built like very, very peaky, like very straightforward. This whoop section here, nice and easy in this game, was an absolute nightmare in Reflex, especially if you was going for hot laps. Like the way your back end would skip out going into it and you'd just absolutely wad yourself. I want to see if I can go quad through this rhythm section and just get the whole thing in 2 jumps. There we go, quad. Oh, it's a quad 5. Okay, no, we're not getting that 5. The most we're doing is quad single, and then hit this triple here, and I guess you can jump all the way into the corner. Which you do, lovely. It just pops you so high. They're like really nice floaty jumps. And then quad, what was that? No, triple, double. Let's go inside here. And it's a double, triple into the corner. I'm going to cut down, see if I can go inside here. So we go double, triple, and then you can step on from the inside, step over. That's fine, I can survive that. Factory Bikes can take it like a champ. And we send a big old fat one, look over to the guys in the VIP booths that spent their extra monies to get in and get some good seats. And then just ride it round to the left here, little drop down back into the track, through these little rollers, tiny weird tabletop thing. I mean, that's kind of how it was in the Reflex as well. It wasn't big enough to be a tabletop, but it's a little bit too big to be considered just a bump. And then you can go triple up the hill, or go double, and obviously triple was always a lot faster. That flat corner there was such a good corner for block passes online. You could be so mean to people, and I know that I'm pretty sure in one of my Reflex funny moments videos that I have on the channel, one of the guys absolutely destroyed me in that corner. It was, yeah, really, really good fun. Big old finish line booter, and that is a lap of old Fort Red. It was interesting because when I first saw RedRider talking about kind of replicating this, I thought one of the tracks that would be really, really good to see moved over from that game to this one is it's either Kingston Round 1 or Kingston Round 2. I really can't remember it, but one of them had 2, I guess, like really wide freestyle ramp jumps, like in the middle of a Supercross track, and I think that could be quite good to transfer over if you're able to build the jumps in a way that you can hit consistently. Because some objects in this game can be very, very funky to ride on, which is why I was very, very surprised actually that when I hit the stadium over there, kind of stepped down onto the platform or onto the freestyle ramp, I was very surprised by how smooth work took off. Didn't give me any weird physics at all. I'm guessing that he's done some, I guess, computer hackery, some nonsense behind the scenes to make it actually ride well, so the tyres don't clip through it in a weird way. But it's been really fun and interesting seeing the, I guess, preview pictures and seeing stuff that he's built and working on, because replicating a height map is one thing, but then going to the extent of replicating like the entire stadium is really, really cool. Even to the point where I saw him riding around in Reflex, taking a bunch of like screenshots and reference points of the stadium and just building it from the ground up, and it's just really, really impressive. And I don't think there's many people in this community that would take the time to replicate everything so perfectly. And not only that, to then, after a couple months of work, just go and release it for free on MXB Mods. Like this, I don't know if this track is released yet at the point of me releasing this video. I'm recording this very, very early hours of Monday morning. I believe it is releasing on Monday, but probably more suitable for the US time zone than Europe. So you are getting a double upload from me today. You're getting one which is called I Must Be Cursed, which is kind of like my return, I should say. And then this one is actually being recorded after a bunch of other ones that I've done today. So it might seem a bit odd, but I did just want to throw out there that there's so much cool stuff that released while I was away that everything's now kind of battling each other for, I guess like, what's the word for it? Not superiority, but obviously there's only, I do one video a day for the most part. I don't like doing 2 videos a day all the time. Firstly, because I think it uses up a lot of the good content in the game that could be spread out a little bit more. But then also I don't want to oversaturate you guys with videos and maybe take attention away from some videos that are more deserving, that maybe get overlooked because there's so much of it. So right now I've got videos queued up for a video on JV's The Goat Farm, got a video on T-Bell's The Farm, I've got a video on the new OEM preview bikes, I've also got a video on Hurren's Battle Creek, and now I'm recording this one as well. So I've got like 4 or 5 videos just sitting there waiting to go. They're all kind of battling with each other for, I guess, the next day's upload, I guess. So I have no order, or no idea what order I'm going to do them in. I'm going to do a double upload today, firstly just because this track is amazing and I want to show it off as quickly as I can. Then also because the return video is just that. It's just a return video talking about my vacation and such. Nothing super crazy, I'm just showing off round 2 of the SMX playoffs in game, which I didn't get to race, obviously, because I was away. But yeah, I feel like today, special day, double upload day, enjoy yourselves. Overall, this track is very, very good fun. It's nice seeing that there's so many different line options for all these rhythms. I think he's done a good job of that, which I think he's done a better job of it in this game than Reflex ever did, because in Reflex you had your one massive line that if you wasn't hitting, you was just losing a bunch of time every lap. So, very nice that we can mix things up here. The jumps are actually really, really peaky, so I actually think 450 might be a bit overkill in a lot of situations. I do think the 250s would go around here really, really nicely, but I'm glad I hopped on the factory bike because these jumps are so peaky and like spiky, I guess. It's very easy to overjump or to flat pattern, so you do really rely on that factory suspension to absorb the overjumps. Good stuff all round. I'm very, very happy with it. Very, very privileged to even have access to it like this night before it releases, and I hope you guys get as much enjoyment out of it as I do. Now remember what I said at the start of the video, if you was an avid Reflex enjoyer back in the day, make sure you let me know down in the comments. I want to kind of get a gauge on how old this community that I've built is overall. If you didn't get to enjoy it, I hope you really enjoy it now in MX Bikes. That's the most important thing. So thank you very much, RedRider. Thank you very much to you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. Please do drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'd really appreciate it. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you're up to, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.